You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.
Hare Krishna. This is Gangadas for Radio Mayapur, Link to Your Heart. Today we are very, very fortunate. We are in a beautiful, wonderful place in Genoa, Italy. And this is a place called Goloka Ecofarm. Humanity in harmony with nature. And this place is an oasis of peace and relaxation. We have cow protection, sustainable community. We are close to the sea, 20 kilometers or 20 minutes. It's a unique place where everyone is welcome to reconnect with nature and disconnect from the stress and misplaced priorities of modern life. We have nice prasadam. We have artisan bakery, traditional Ayurvedic cuisine, cow cuddling. Goloka Ecofarm is a place to explore your spirituality. If you come here, you're welcome. And your last long connection with nature. And ultimately find peace and tranquility in this beautiful place. So I hope all the listeners of Radio Mayapur at one point in their life will come and visit this place. And today we are interviewing a beautiful, wonderful devotee. His name is Abhiram Thakur. He's very young. I would say he's the youngest temple president in the world because he's only 25 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. He's born in Poggibonsi, which is near Florence, in 1997. He studied and he grew up in Milano. He studied as a graphic designer. And he also started his Krishna consciousness. Of course, his father and mother are devotees, but he started practicing in 2012. He became more and more interested in the philosophy of life. And I think he's one of the youngest leaders in our movement. He's very bright. He's a very charismatic person, and he's able to influence many people in Italy. He speaks English very well. So today we do a podcast with Abhiram Thakur,
Hare Krishna.
which have wonderful devotees.
Thank you for having me here.
It's a great pleasure. Abhiram Thakur, tell us a little bit about your life. I mean, how you come in contact with Krishna consciousness. And of course, I'm sure everybody has some connection at one point in their life where they ask themselves questions and they find answer in the Vedic culture.
Yeah, I was born in a family of devotees, as you just said. But in the period I was born, they were not practicing Krishna consciousness because we know family life is always very troublesome. So I grew up with the values of society, basically going to school and doing what all the young people do. And I was not satisfied at all, I can say. And then when I was about 13 years old, my brother, who is 5 years older than me, decided to go to England, to London, to find a new job and new life, etc. And there he actually met the devotees. He started attending the temple of Soho Street because he was in need of prasadam.
Something to eat.
But
what's his name, your brother?
Nimai Chandra now.
Nimai Chandra.
Yeah. And they in London, devotees are very smart. They do every day Bhagavad Gita class and after free lunch.
Prasadam.
So he started with this nice combination of philosophy and prasadam. And in this way, he became very transformed. And I could see that. And he also inspired my father and my mother to join again with more enthusiasm, more faith, etc. So when I saw this, I also became inclined naturally to practice and to inquire what is it is all about. I never had the opportunity to really go deep into the philosophy. And so, yeah, I started attending the temple every weekend.
Which temple was it?
Villa Vrindavan.
Villa Vrindavan, yeah. We just came from there. Beautiful place.
Amazing place, yeah.
Amazing.
I was very, very fascinated by the surrounding at first. Then, first I was fascinated by the atmosphere, the nature, and gradually I also became more and more interested in the philosophy. And what really actually made a change in my life was the Shravanam Kirtanam Festival they organized for the first time in 2012, where all these nice devotees came from all over the world to chant, and I was really impressed. I remember Kadamba Kanana Swami was there, and
Great leader.
I still have a really clear remembrance of when I went for my first Mangal Arati, he was singing, and I still remember his voice. And
it's beautiful voice.
And then at the end of the day, the festival, there was Madhava Prabhu's Kirtan, and that really struck me, and so that conquered me, and from there I felt like a transformation that took place. So.
That means the experience. You had an experience which you reconnect your heart with the Lord and then with the devotee, through the devotees. Yeah. But who was your guidance? Did you take a guidance from some particular devotee who was inspiring you?
Yeah, my father actually, because when my brother decided to join Soho Street Temple, and then my father had a really big call, and he started to be very serious, determined, and I could see his deep change, and he started taking care of me like a son.
Like a new bhakta.
Like a new bhakta. He was really experienced, because he actually joined the movement in the 80s, so he spent a lot of time, and he was doing many things, so he could utilize all his experience in the service of the movement and to guide me. So that was, and of course, I started reading books and attending lectures. That was really
By the way, yesterday, Radio Mayapur, we did a podcast with your father.
Oh,
he told us a lot of nice story. Okay. And also you wrote many books, which are fantastic.
I do the design of his books.
Nice.
I studied graphic design. Yeah.
But apart from your father, was there any other person you saw, like you were saying, Kadamba Kanana Maharaj was a great singer? Was there anybody else that you spotted and say, I want to be like him, or somebody?
I guess in the beginning, many devotees, like all the devotees really impressed me a lot. And if I have to say one specific devotee, actually, I was very impressed also for Radhanath Maharaj. And then I started hearing different lectures, like when I was at school, during the hours of graphic design, I was actually going to iskcon Desire Tree and downloading all the lectures and kirtans from different gurus to hear a lot. And then I decided to take shelter at the lotus feet of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Bhakti Charu Swami. And he became really the light for my Krishna consciousness, because his example, his faith, his simplicity, it was everything amazing.
I know Bhakti Charu Maharaj since 1979. He was a great inspiration for me as well. And he was such a gentleman, I should say. Because Srila Prabhupada said the first quality of Vaishnava is that he's a gentleman. Yeah. He was a perfect gentleman to host people, welcome them, speak always sweet words. And his knowledge was very deep. Yeah. And Prabhupada, I believe, he gave him first and second initiation in one go. And he was very, very sweet.
Yeah, and actually he also kindly allowed me to go to the dams, because I couldn't go to the dams when I was brahmachari, because I was always very busy. We are in Italy, we are not so many devotees, so we have many responsibilities to take care of, and we didn't have much Lakshmi also to afford
for traveling.
Yeah, so Maharaj once invited me to go in India.
And he paid for your ticket.
Yeah, he paid for my ticket. He allowed me to stay in a very comfortable room at his apartment in Mayapur.
Nice. In the Conch building, right?
In the Conch building,
the fifth floor.
Amazing. Yeah, I couldn't believe I had one room for myself when there were thousands of devotees in the
Everywhere.
Dham.
In the festival time. Yeah?
yeah. Gaur Purnima. And actually, it was during the GBC meetings, and then we spent Gaur Purnima in Ujjain.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. The temple in Ujjain.
Yeah, also.
Nice. By the way, today I've just received news that in Ujjain, the government has requested the devotee to go to 51 district and do Harinam for inspiration, because there is a lot of variety of people that have some difficulty in communicating, different castes, different creed. So the government understand that the devotee are unifying force. So they will sponsor this program to travel for months and do program every day in different district of Madhya Pradesh. So this is great news.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I didn't know
Okay, now tell us, you came to this place, Goloka farm. You started with the devotees and your father.
Yeah.
What is the objective of this Goloka farm?
Yeah, it's basically to live basing our lives on the Vedic understanding, on Prabhupada's books. We need to distribute books, of course, but we need to show the people how to live these books. And of course, we cannot always do that if we are not in the right environment. So the aim of this project is to really give an opportunity to the people of this area and also other areas to come and see how happy is the life of Krishna consciousness and how simple living and high thinking can be put into practice. And
Are you planning to be self-sufficient in this farm?
Yeah.
Because how many acres land you have?
25 hectares, actually,
which is
75 acres.
75 acres of land. So, and some plain, I saw.
Yeah, some flat land.
Some mountain with a tree, fruit tree.
Yeah, so our plan is also to take more land in the future, because in this area of Liguria, there is a lot of vacant land, fortunately for us. So, we want to be self-sufficient. We have a lot of water here, and we will have soon cows coming in less than 1 month. So, cows, land, and preaching, and inviting people here, and doing retreats, seminars, and
So what's your your plan? You will be able to be self-sufficient in how many years, for example?
Yeah, actually we are here since just 2 months, and we couldn't really make already some specific plan, because we are really in a
renovating everything.
In a situation where nothing is working properly, so we are fixing everything, and etc. But the aim is to really, I think in 5 years time, and to arrive at a point where we are really self-sufficient, at least for all the
Will you take help also from these other? We have other community, for example, we saw in Rome, we saw in what is called, we did a program in with the Sankirtan devotees.
Sankirtanam Fikul in
Umbria. They do agriculture, they grow their own grain, they have a machine for making pasta, and making cheese, and so many things.
I think it's the best way is to take all the best qualities of each community, all the assets that each community is able to give, and then share it in the yatra, so that we can all together develop. We also, where our cows are at the moment in the mountain, we produce cheese, and we also from time to time distribute it to the other temples of Italy.
Nice.
So everyone, we have to do in this way, because maybe it's not that one community can
produce everything. So it's like sharing and nice. It's a beautiful, nice program. Tell us a little bit about Food for Life, for example, which is a very successful program you're doing here all over Italy, I believe.
In many cities.
So tell us a little bit about that, because then I know that you are receiving also funds from GoFundMe or something like that. What is it called?
Actually, for Food for Life, we receive funds from European Union
Okay.
and from the municipalities of different cities where we
Okay.
do it, and from also other public organizations who give funds to no profits.
So when did you start this Food for Life in Italy? In
Yeah,
Torino or in
Italy,
Florence?
my father started it in Torino in 2015,
Okay.
16 actually.
Okay.
And we started by cooperating with another organization who was already giving help to poor people. And so we decided to cooperate, and we had to cook and they had to gather all the poor people. We did some programs like that. They attracted hundreds of poor people, and also the newspapers came and different.
There was a
media.
little publicity. A lot of publicity.
Yeah, and that helped a lot because then the municipality actually invited us
So-
to do a regular program with them.
Nice. Nice.
So after Torino, then we expanded and we started doing it in other cities like Genova, south of Italy, Bari, and Verona, and now also Savona, which is another city which is close to our community. And basically, in each city, we do it once a week, or in some cities, twice a month. And I personally cook for the Genova and Savona Food for Life. So on Thursday we cook for around 100 people and we go to Genova, where we have a place where every day people are fed, and we have a lot of volunteers who are helping
yeah.
because everyone likes to do
Something
this
good.
kind of good things. So
But tell me, what are these poor people? Because in Italy, we don't see so many poor people. I mean, we see people driving nice car, going to the beach, going shopping.
Yeah.
So we don't see, like in India, maybe you can see more poor
Yeah.
people there.
Yeah.
Also, there also is becoming less, but
Yeah, I would say that most of them are actually not Italian, are
okay.
like from Arabian countries or from
Morocco,
African countries.
country.
And maybe,
So they're refugee?
yeah, refugees basically. But also sometimes you see people who are dressed in a normal way, but you can understand that they come there because they don't have enough money for
to buy food.
Buying food.
So also Italian.
Yeah.
Or elder people, or young people.
Mostly elders, young people less, but sometimes, yeah, like 1 month ago, I was there and one young couple, 2 guys, they seemed like drug addicted.
Okay.
They were very, very grateful for us, and they said they actually are vegans. And,
Wow.
But they are poor, they cannot afford luxury. Actually, I found recently an interesting quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Please tell us. Share with
which
us.
Lord Chaitanya speaks about Food for Life. He actually inaugurated Food for Life.
Amazing.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Of course, I knew that you did a big feast for Thakur. There were many, many feasts everywhere. So, but I don't remember particularly instructing anybody in doing Food for Life.
Yeah, we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita 3 verses.
Okay.
Starting from this. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda, his personal servant, called for all the poor beggars who were unhappy due to their poverty and fed them sumptuously.
Wow.
Observing the beggars eating prasadam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted Haribol and instructed them to chant the holy name.
Nice.
As soon as the beggars chanted the holy name, Haribol, they were immediately absorbed in ecstatic love of God. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed wonderful pastimes.
Wow.
That is Food for Life Leela.
Which place was this? Puri?
I have to see
Most
because
probably
I
Puri.
have a screenshot of these 3 verses without the reference, but
This is Antialila?
I'm just checking on Vedabase.
Amazing. So, but then, okay, this program will go on of prasadam distribution. Any other program you have in Goloka which you actually are very keen to make sure is going to take place?
In Goloka, yeah, we are actually planning to do a Vedic temple here because now we are in a building which we bought recently.
Yes.
So the temple is in a temporary situation, but next to this building there is a big old building that will have to be destroyed and then
rebuilt.
rebuilt. And we are planning to do a Vedic temple here, which can attract really a lot of people because we are in a touristic area. So in the future, we really want, like other communities manage to do, for example, in Hungary or in other places, that really tourists come to see a Hare Krishna community where where we grow our own food, when we take care of the cows and we protect them, and where we have a Vedic temple, and when we do a lot of interesting things for the society.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's our goal, like to basically attract people to Krishna consciousness. It's an indirect form of preaching.
Now, yesterday you organized a program through the yoga studio, and I believe you are organizing many yoga studio programs. So tell us about this, because it's a formula which I've seen in Bulgaria, I've seen in New Zealand, I see in Australia, all over the world, devotees are using this via media of introducing Krishna consciousness through the people who study yoga, because they're doing yoga for exercise, for the body and the mind, but they don't really know what is the yoga means. Connection, the connection with whom? So tell us a little bit about that.
It's really a powerful way that we can use, because these people are already somewhat prepared to receive a higher message.
And by the way, many of them are already vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're already one step ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, we don't have to speak much of these things. Actually, we can already go to speak something beyond these simple things, and which is to present in the proper way the personality of the Lord, and that thing they cannot understand, they cannot figure out.
Only through the devotee they can understand.
So, and that can be reached with the Maha Mantra, because we know that the first realization of the Lord is His name. So if we allow them to absorb in the holy name, they will feel really inspired. And we actually started doing these yoga programs in Savona a couple years ago, and actually it's thanks to these yoga programs that we started getting a nice congregation in the city of Savona, and that allowed us to find a place here in this area, which is now Goloka Ecofarm. And because we did so many programs in the last years, we could say, we can buy this property, because there are already many people who are interested in these events. And we basically present Krishna consciousness in a very simple way, not focusing too much in complicated philosophical issues, but just trying to inspire people to absorb in the transcendental vibration and see the effects on their own lives. And then prasadam, of course, is the final ultimate weapon. And in this way people become conquered. And I think personally that, like, sometimes devotees prefer to do these kind of programs dressed in a specific way or another. I don't think it's really relevant.
Really
nowadays is a very big issue, but I think that the people see your smile, people see your face, don't see much your dress.
No.
If you are happy, then
actually the people see that we as a devotee, we have something which they don't have. So that sparkling in the eyes, the love and simplicity and the deep spiritual realization, which we can make experience to people. Because when we do bhajan, and when people take prasadam, and when they see these people who are in harmony amongst themselves as well, so then people feel like, this is my family. I want to be with them.
Yes.
Any particular point you want to say about this particular place? It's called Pontinvrea. What is it famous? We saw a big castle here outside. Is there any particular meaning to this? Or what is an historical place? I don't know.
It's not very old city. As I read, it's just a 400 years old city.
Okay.
Not city actually. It's
It's a small township.
small town. Yeah, and it's almost it's a very tranquil, calm place where usually people have their second house and come for holidays mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, so
They come in the summertime
they come in the summertime
because it's cool here. It's on top.
yeah. It's wonderful climate, weather, and it's not very famous, Pontinvrea, but the area connected to Pontinvrea is actually very famous. And if you just go 20 kilometers down, there is Albissola and Savona, Varazze, which are really famous places.
Historical place.
The Ligurian Sea is one of the most beautiful sea of Italy, and it's amazing. And so we are in a very nice position because we are simultaneously close to this touristic area where a lot of people gather. Now, if in the summer time, if we go on the beach, it's always full of people. We can do a lot of things, Harinam, book distribution, but at the same time we are here in a very, very peaceful place. And
beautiful.
We don't have to mix.
Abhiram Thakur, tell us one slogan, particular slogan, which is fixed in your mind, which you remember every day. Whether it's from Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or Srimad Bhagavatam, something which is really you are something which impresses you or which makes you realize something.
I like to actually recite one chapter of Bhagavad Gita daily, as I heard from Vaisheshika Prabhu. I was very inspired by him. I really hear often his lectures because he's really an amazing personality. He's so enthusiastic. He's always amazing. So yeah, I was inspired to actually recite every day one chapter of the Gita. Okay. So I actually don't have only one verse that I recite every day. I have many verses that I recite.
But one which is most appealing to you, to your realization.
Okay. Let me just think of it for 10 seconds because it's like...
it's like the ocean and you want to take a glass.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find... everything is so nice, nectarian from Bhagavad Gita. So yeah, I think that definitely Bhagavad Gita is my most favorite book.
Okay.
And I can choose one verse from
difficult choice.
Yes, definitely. Well, because now in my mind I'm going through all the chapters
anyone which comes to you very spontaneously, you can say.
Okay, yeah. So I guess the 5th chapter of the Gita is one of my favorite chapters because it really speaks in a practical way about how realized soul acts in this world. So one very nice shloka for me is Brahmanya daya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti ya lipyatena sapapena padmapatram ivambasa. That a realized soul is always detached from the fruits of his activities, just like a lotus is in the water but is always detached from the water. And I guess that's Krishna consciousness in a nutshell, that we have to be in this world and we have to act in this world, but at the same time we should be not attached and live with our consciousness in another dimension. So in this way, only if we do that, then we can see whatever happens in this world with peace and with detachment, with without anxieties.
Wonderful speaking to you, Abhiram Thakur. Is any message you'd like to give to the people today listening to Radio Mayapur?
Yeah, thank you for listening to everyone, first of all, and for tolerating me.
That's
And
wonderful.
my message is to take some responsibility for Srila Prabhupada's movement. I think is really needed, especially for the youth, but everyone, of course, because as we read in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, when the Lord Chaitanya was feeling pain seeing the Muslims who were committing all kinds of sinful activities and seeing how they had to suffer in their future, and Lord Chaitanya was in this mood, and Haridas Thakur told him, "Chinta na koriya, don't worry." So, and Prabhupada says this is the business of a disciple, of a servant. So, to relieve his master from the burden. So, we can see that how troublesome, how much burden there is in taking Krishna consciousness in this world. So, we can help Srila Prabhupada and our gurus and our seniors in this mission and take some burden on our shoulders and be there, just saying, what can I do to serve this movement?
We have a goal, which is Prithivite Jatoratana Gram. So we had to spread the holy name in every town and village.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I would add that one slogan from the Bhagavad Gita, Susukam Kartum Avyavyam, is very joyfully performed.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody's throwing you out of the airplane the first time with a parachute and you feel scared. But to perform devotional service in association with the body actually is very, very sweet. So if anybody engage in devotional service in whatever form, whether it's washing the pot or cleaning the floor or typing in a computer or speaking, everything is so divine and connected with Krishna. So thank you so much for giving your time, your valuable time, and to Radio Mayapur. And I'm sure many people will appreciate. Hope to see you in Mayapur again sometime with your father. And Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.